First of all, Jackie, hey, I want to thank you very much for Madison introducing you to us and talking about he believes that you could be somebody that want to do something big on his team, and I appreciate you sitting down with us. But what I want to do is just give you a couple things that was given to me when they first sat down with me. One of the first questions the gentleman asked me, he said to me, first of all, do you have an insurance or an investment license right now?
No,
No, is there any reason why not?
never thought about
I said the same thing, okay? He said, what I want to share with you, Jackie, is that one of the best kept secrets in America is to have an insurance or investment license because it brings first generation wealth, all right? He said, because I don't know you right now, Jackie, but you're going to buy auto insurance. If you're going to buy or bought auto insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, college plans, retirement plans, health insurance, probably home security systems, you're going to do that if you haven't done it already, all right? He said, but if you were licensed, you can get paid for that. And if you had an entrepreneurship spirit and you told somebody else, you can get paid again for that. Okay? He said to me, he said, responsible people are going to be concerned about two additional things. One is living too long and running out of money, or dying too soon and not leaving any money for the people they say they love. Would you agree with that?
I agree.
Okay. So he said to me, he said, you've been to a funeral, I've been to a funeral. When you go to a funeral, usually you bring flowers and cards for condolences. He said, Mike, when I go to a funeral, I bring flower cards for condolences, but I also bring a check because I sat down with this family and put together a plan to make sure in case something happened to them, their family could still survive. Okay? So just to show you that, here's a family. He said, I sat down with the family and put 500,000 on the husband, I put 500,000 on the wife, 30 on the children for $1,030,000. It cost them only $159. Now, I spent less than an hour with them, Jackie. It took me less than an hour. You do know that most people at a job get paid by the hour, right? If you knowing that I sat down with these people for an hour, they gave me a check for $159 and I left. Turned it into the company. What do you think they would pay me an hour for doing this?
Per hour, maybe about $20.
$20. And I said about 15 when he said it to me. And he looked at me in the eye. He said, now I understand, Mike, why you don't have an insurance or investment license. You thought that every time you saw me sitting down with people, I was making $15 an hour. He said, I happen to be an RVP, he said. And he showed me. He says an RVP, which we call a regional vice president, for somebody giving an RVP $159, they would pay me $1,800 in an hour. Okay? I looked the same way you looked. Okay, I looked the same exact way. He said they pay me $1,800. He said, but Jackie, let me ask you this: where you work at right now? I know you work for Changing Patterns, and with working at Changing Patterns, if you introduced me to your company and I got hired there, what would they pay you?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, same way it is at the job I was at. You know, I said the same exact thing. He said, what if Changing Patterns had a position that they said we got to hire 100 people, and out of the 100 people that we hire, that anytime those people do work, we're going to pay them, but we're going to pay you a piece of the profit. So let's say you was at $25 an hour and they bring them in at $15 an hour. They're going to pay you a $10 hour difference for every hour that those people work. Do you think you could help them find some people?
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? You can help them find some people, right? So he said, well, Mike, that's the way our company works. Most companies do not try to share the profit. They just want to pay people just enough for them not to quit, and the people do just enough work not to get fired. Okay? He said, so with our company, he says, we want to grow and expand. And to grow and expand, you got to incent people. And if you incent somebody, they're going to work more for you if you incent them. All right? So he said, if you introduce me to the company, and let's say you're the vice president now, all right? You made the $1,800. You introduce me to our company. I start off as a rep, just starting off. I sat down with that family for an hour. They gave me a check for $159. They'd have paid me $400. Now I'm excited about $400, Jackie, because I ain't making $400 an hour at my job right now. Okay, but he said you're gonna be even more excited because they're gonna pay you the difference between my $400 and your $1,800. They're gonna send you $1,400. Okay, with them sending you $1,400, would you agree that's going to send you to go find some more people?
Absolutely.
Okay, so he said whether it's one person or 10, if it was 10 people and those 10 people only help one person a month each, that's 1,400 times 10, that's $14,000. So in closing, basically he said to me, I want to remind you, he said, first thing he said, one of the best kept secrets in America is to have an insurance or investment license because it builds first generational wealth. And the second thing he said to me was, responsible people are going to be concerned with two additional things. One is living too long and worrying about running out of money, and the other one is dying too soon and not leaving any money. Okay, with that in mind, I sit down with people all the time and share this with them. And he said to me, he said, what do you think the most logical question most people would ask me at this particular point?
How do I get a license?
How do I get a license? And that's what they say. Some people say, how do I get a license? How do I get involved? How do I get out with y'all? You know, so it's just different things that people say, okay? And I'm going to come back to this and share how you actually do that, okay? But I want to just talk to you just to verify if you had an entrepreneurship spirit inside of this particular window. The next thing he said to me, Jack, he asked me what line of business I was in, which I know you work with Changing Patterns, you're a manager, and I understand that. But he asked me, do you plan on retiring from that?
No.
Okay, are they paying you all the money you need to make to hit the kind of goals and dreams you have?
No.
If they were, he asked, what are some additional goals and dreams do you have that's going to cost money in the future?
Well, I want a condo in another city.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure my children go to school
Okay.
wherever they want. And I want to drive the car that I want to drive.
Okay.
We won't go into what kind.
No, what kind?
Well, I still want my CTS.
Okay, all right, fantastic. This year, okay,
CTS.
all right, okay,
Right,
all right.
not last year. the
All
year
right.
before. Okay.
So he asked me, after I gave him my goals, he asked, so what do you think you need to make a year in order to make those kind of goals and dreams come true?
200.
200,000. Okay. And then he asked, so what do you think? How long do you think it's going to take Changing Patterns to pay you $200,000?
They never gonna do that.
Okay, all right. I said the same thing. He said, we run into people all the time that have goals and dreams like this, their income is like this. I want to talk to you today about how to bridge the gap between your current take-home income and your future goals and dreams. He gave me 3 business opportunities. One is something called the Center of Influence, where you get certified by the state. You don't do any appointments, you don't do any presentations, you just refer people. If you refer the person, they do business with us, we pay you half and we make half. So on that $400, you'd have made $200 and they'd have paid me $200 as a Center of Influence. And so every person that gets certified with our company, they just got to go to a 2-day class, one time only, review for 3 to 10 days and get certified by the state. Okay, so everybody does that, whether you're a Center of Influence or not. So my mother's a Center of Influence. She just refers people. She gets paid half. Okay, she's 78, by the way, because everybody is interested, as our CEO said, they're interested in financial literacy, but they may not have time to do it, but they know people and that they care and love that could benefit from hearing about it. So they refer people to our business, and people, he said, are going to refer people more consistently if they had a chance to get paid half
Makes sense.
versus just referring people just to be referring people, okay? And our second business opportunity is something called a second career plan. That's for somebody who's looking for a flex schedule. You don't have to call us on the phone, coughing and carrying on, acting like you're sick. You ain't got to call us talking about your auntie died again. If you don't feel like working this week, you don't have to work this week. You know people call in with all kinds of stuff, right? So he said, you don't have to do that. He said, give me 10 to 12 hours, and I go part-time, 10 to 12 hours a week. He said, our goal would be to show you how to make an extra 20 to 40,000 a year part-time without you having to quit your full-time job. Okay, my sister does that. She makes about $35,000 a year on a part-time basis with a full-time job. Okay, and the third and last position he gave me was something called a career change. He said, Mike, give me 18 to 24 months, keep your full-time job. At the end of 24 months, if I can show you how to be paid more part-time than you taking home full-time, I'd like you to consider coming with me full-time. He said, we'll show you how to become a regional vice president like me. We'll show you how to make a minimum 6 figures a year for the rest of your life. And we'll show you how to own your own franchise. Own your own franchise says that once you're vice president and once you're vice president, if you decide to leave the company, you can sell your business back to the company for 7 times your income. So if you're making $100,000, you can sell it back to the company for $700,000, walk away. Making $200,000, you can sell it on an average about $1.4 million and walk away. Okay, so he showed me that. Now, Jackie, I ain't never heard that kind of stuff before, right? Nobody ever talked to me about making 6 figures or anything. But he said in closing, Jackie, in order to hit the kind of goals and dreams you have, he said you want a CTS Cadillac, he said you want to get a condo in another state, you want your kids to go to whatever school they want to go to, and eliminate debt probably as well. So let me ask you this, which of the 3 business opportunities, if you had to consider one, would it be the Center of Influence, the second career, or the career change in order to help you hit the kind of goals and dreams and to get you to the $200,000 of income that you were talking about?
I'd have to consider complete change.
All right, career change, okay. And that's what I said. I started off part-time, but I ended up moving forward once things began to work the way he said they was going to work. I ended up making a career change about 18 months later, all right. So that's what we want to deal with, the career change. Whether it was career change, second career, or Center of Influence, we just know that people need to be in a business where they can get another stream of income, okay. So I want to share that with you. So in order to do that, would you agree that it's probably time for a change?
Definitely.
Okay, it got to be a change. I mean, in order to get that, we got to change some things. So I show people this to make sure they understand what's going on. But just to give you a little background on who we are as a company. The company we started with, the company's been around since 1977. It's a 42-year-old company. And the company was bought out in 1989. And a guy named Sandy Wow bought the company out. And he bought out our company, which is Primerica. He bought out Smith Barney, he bought out Travelers, and then he bought out a company called Citibank, which I'm sure you're familiar with. He named the whole corporation Citigroup, and so everybody was under Citigroup. And he was the CEO for 20 years. In 2009, he retired, and a new CEO took over. And the new CEO took over, said he had a different vision. He wanted to sell off the companies. They could bring more profits in and do what they wanted to do. So we left the company and we put on the table, we wanted to go into business for ourselves, the corporation, Primerica. And so they put a bid in to do an IPO, an initial public offering. I had heard of it, but I didn't understand it. The IPO says that when a company is going public for the first time, it says the share price that they're going for at that particular time. The first day they opened, what was the share price, okay, for the initial public offering? Our initial public offering on April 1st, 2010 is when we went public. It came out at $15 a share, okay? And when it came out at $15 a share, it closed on October 5th, because when I did this, for 121. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to show you in my phone here. I want to show you that here's the New York Stock Exchange. Here's where it shows PRI, which is our company, and it shows you on today's date it closed at $120 a share. All right, and can you read how much it says the company is worth?
It's worth $5 billion.
$5 billion. Okay, so I wanted to just let you know that it's a New York Stock Exchange company that Madison referred you to. All right, but also I want to let you understand that we are a distribution company. We are a one-stop financial services company. We do business with a lot of people. So as a distribution hub, here are all of our business partners that we do business with. Right now we set up 401k plans and take them over with a company called Voya and AXA. And what I mean by that is, if your company offers 401k plans, we'll come in and bid for a 401k plan, see if we can cut the cost. If they don't, we'll come in and see if you all are interested in a 401k plan. So that's what we do through our 401k division, all right? And then annuities, we set up annuities. Only 9% of the people in America right now have an annuity. Only 9% of the people have a pension, okay? 91% of the people don't have a pension, and a pension is where somebody getting a check for the rest of their life. So we have a program called annuities that we can set up for clients to where they can pay into it, and then at the end of their time frame, they can get a check for the rest of their life. So we try to help the rest of the people. We also do managed accounts for people who have a lot more money to invest, and then we do mutual funds as well. We do mutual funds for college plans, for retirement plans, or short-term accounts for 3 years or more. And they can open up those accounts for a minimum $25, $50 a month and get started. Somebody can put up 50 grand and you can put up $50. If it pays 8% that year, you get 8% on your little money, they get 8% on their big money. So anybody can get involved in a mutual fund. We also do legal protection, wills, trusts, access to attorneys. Most people are going to need an attorney for some reason, so we have access to that. Most people do not have wills, so we make sure they have that in place. We also do long-term care. Long-term care in case somebody have to go into a nursing home or get into a major accident where somebody has to come into a house and take care of them. So we offer that piece as well. We also offer a project with a company called Vivid Smart Home, where we do home security systems. And you know, most people today, they're trying to get home security systems. You've probably seen on TV where somebody pushed the doorbell, you can see who's outside, you know, the whole 9 yards. And it's all done from your phone, climate control. You can do everything right off your phone. But we offer that particular project. A lot of the companies that offer those particular in-home services, they don't have the technology that we have. So they have the top line technology right now with the company. So we're doing a lot of business with those people, okay? And we just give a person a brochure and they move forward in that arena. We also do auto and homeowners insurance. Auto and homeowners insurance says that most people don't save money on auto and home because they don't have time to shop it. They don't have time to call all the different people. So we got a contract with Answer Financial where they got a contract with the top 20 companies in every state. We give a client a brochure, they call the company, and they give them a quote based on what they have. And at the end of that quote, we give them 4 basic quotes, 4 of the best quotes on the street. 6 out of 10 people that call save money, and 4 out of 10 got a program we can't beat. Okay, so we at least have them to call in. And then lastly, we do insurance, life insurance, to show people how to protect their income. people buy insurance. A lot of people have been sold insurance for burial insurance. But we give people insurance to protect their income. Meaning, my father passed, had a $10,000 insurance policy. He died. We buried him, but his $3,500 did not come in the house anymore. Mama trying to raise 3 kids without that money, so lost the house. There's a lot of bad things happen with that. So we show people how to protect their income, use insurance to protect income, not burial insurance, but making sure when I die, not if I die, when I die, there's enough to send my kids to school, wipe out the mortgage and all the debt, bury me, and then leave some money on a monthly basis in what they call a trust fund, whereas the family's getting a check every month for so many years. Okay, so that's what we do. I share this with you that we have 2 of the product lines on here that a person does not need to be certified, does not need to be licensed in the state in order to take advantage of this. The 2 products is, one is Vivid, the home security system. We give a client a brochure. If they call the number and they have somebody come out and give them a quote and they decide to buy, we pay $250 to our rep. $250, no license required. For every one of those that you do, it's $250. So if you did 1 a week, that's an extra $1,000. You did 20 in a month, that's an extra $5,000. Same thing on auto and home. We give a brochure, and the brochure we give, they pay an average of about $100 is what the average check is for just referring somebody. And if they do business, you make $100. Okay, would you agree? Those are just door openers. Okay,
Yes,
all right. And then the biggest thing we're excited about is we just signed a contract with a company called Quicken Loans. You ever heard of Quicken Loans?
No.
Okay, Quicken Loans is the biggest mortgage company in the United States of America. We just signed a contract. We'll be doing refinance and first mortgage with Quicken Loans. We're doing it right off our phone. In 15 minutes, we can let a person know if they're approved or not approved, and they pay an average of $1,000 per 100 grand if they do business with us with. So if they do a $100,000 app, they pay $1,000. If they do $300,000 home or refinance, they pay $3,000 out. All right. So we'll be able to do that come first quarter of 2019. We're very excited. I show you all of this, Jackie, because I want to let you know that Madison did not introduce you to some fly-by-night company that just started last week in somebody's face. You would agree you're familiar with some of those companies.
Yes.
And you would agree after showing you it's a New York Stock Exchange company worth $5 billion that started at $15 a share, now $121. You would agree that's a big deal.
I'm impressed.
Okay, all right. And that's all I wanted to do, just make sure you know he ain't just refer you to anybody. Okay? But what I want to do right now, I just want to shift gears and just ask a question that the guy asked me that penetrated my heart. He said, do you want to be wealthy? I'm asking you that question.
Absolutely.
Okay, he said, well, do you want to get 1% of 100 people, or would you want to get 100% of you?
Well, 100% of me.
Okay, and that's what I said. And he looked me square in the eye and said, you can't get wealthy that way, Jackie, because you're only trading time for money. You know, if they pay you $20 an hour, you work 10 hours, you make $250. Okay, that's just the bottom line. But he said, a guy by the name of J. Paul Getty said, you want to get 1% of 100 people to get wealthy. You can't run a McDonald's franchise by yourself. You can't run a Walmart by yourself. You can't run an Amazon company by yourself. You can't. So you need to have people in order to do that. And the deal is that you only could be in one place at a time for you. But with 100 people, you could be in 100 different places. So you're gonna get sick. You're gonna be tired. You're gonna be lazy. Sometimes you're gonna take vacations. You're gonna go to movies and plays and all that kind of stuff. And when you're doing that, you're not working. But these 100 people, all of them 100 people may not be working at the same time, but somebody is on the grind inside that particular piece. And he's saying if you had 100 people, we can put you in a position that anytime those people do any business, they're going to get paid, but the company going to pay you a piece of the profit. Even if it's only 1%, you get paid a piece of the profit of everything they do for the rest of their life. Okay? And that's why he got me to understand that. But he said the way we're going to do that, Jackie, is we do that with a concept called 3 to get 3 to get 3. Okay? And I didn't understand what he meant, but he was talking about 3 to get 3 to get 3. He said, do you think you could put me in front of 3 couples if I could show you the mindset about how to get wealthy? Because you're saying you want to get 1% of 100 now, right? Now that you understand it. So get 1% of 100, do you think you can get me in front of at least 3 couples?
Yes.
You get me in front of 3 couples, this is the way it looks. When I told you 3 to get 3 to get 3, this is you. We find 3 for you, and then we help them find 3. And we do that on a consistent basis. And when we do that on a consistent basis, it takes on a life of its own. See, some people think about addition, and I think about multiplication. Okay, so from an addition standpoint, I call this the power of 1. Okay, the power of 1. What do you mean? Here's somebody that's doing addition. This is 2 to the 10th power. Okay, this somebody got 2, then they got 2, they got 4, went to 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 5, 12, 1,024. That's addition. But the power of 1, if you just got 1 more to get 3, let me just show you what it looks like. I told you, can we find 3, right?
Yes.
3 to the 10th power comes out to 59,000. But I want you to see something. How does that work? If we found your 3, you just found 3. Okay? We're going to help those 3 find their 3. That gives you 9, 27, 81, 243, 729, 2100, 6500, 19,000, 59,000. Would you want to find 59,000 people? Would you want to find 3?
3.
3. Okay, the goal is to get you wealthy, right? In order to put you in a position to get you wealthy, that's the scenario. And I'm telling you, if you get me in front of 3 couples, I'm telling you, we could have 100 people on your team in less than a year. In less than a year, just with the 3 to get 3 to get 3. Because if we didn't do number goes to 4 levels, 3 to get 9 to 27, 81, we got over 100 people on your team right there, and we still got 8 more months. If that just happened, if you only did that 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 months, we still got a whole another 8 months in case it didn't flow the way we wanted to flow. In a year or less, we can have you 100 people on your team, and if any of those people do any business in the scenario that we was just talking to you about, we put you in a position where you get paid a piece of the profit. That's what I want to share with you. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay, so all we're doing is letting people understand that, and so as they understand that, I want to share with you one other thing. Now, Jackie, most people create their own competition, meaning they train their competition in America. Give you an example. If you're a real estate broker and I'm an agent and things get to going good for me, guess what? I want to be a broker just like you. When I become a broker, I'm leaving your office and I'm opening up my own office and I'm taking some of the people in your office with me. Okay? That's what's going to happen. Okay? And so I leave you. But also, let's say if you was a pastor. If you was a pastor and I'm a minister and things get to going real good for me, you know, not necessarily real good. I became good at ministry. And then the Lord told me one night that, Mike, you need to be a pastor. I'm going to come to you and tell you I want to be a pastor because you always talking about pastor about expanding the kingdom, right? I'm going to leave your church and I'm going to open up my own church. And the choir director, that's my roommate from college, he going with me, okay? So some people going to leave with me. And so we're going to move out. And pastor, no sense of being, you know, offended by that because that's what you did. You left your pastor's church and your pastor left his pastor's church and they left, but we all expand the kingdom. All right. So my point is, most people in corporate America and in churches, they're training their competition. They teaching people everything they know, and those people leave them and they take some people with them. Okay. Well, in Primerica, we call that a gotcha. All right. In Primerica, we put you in a position that says if you are a vice president and you got the 3 of us on your team and things get to going good for us, guess what? We want to be a vice president too. All right. When we become a vice president, we're going to open up our office and leave you too. But the company is going to pay you a percentage of everything we do for the rest of our lives. So you're a vice president, I become a vice president. They're going to pay you 15% on everything I do, plus a 10% bonus. They're going to pay you 25 cents on the dollar. Okay. But what I want to do is just show you what it looks like, because when I get promoted to vice president, guess what? I'm trying to promote some too. And when I promote one, and they promote one, they'll pay you through 6 generations of individuals that come through your organizations. And so this is where I'll close with. Our company pays through 6 generations, okay? And on your first generation, they pay you 15%, your second 10, your third 5, your fourth 1.75, your fifth and 6.75. Well, remember we was talking about 3 to get 3 to get 3, right? So the 3 to get 3 to get 3 mindset. So if you're vice president and you promote 3 of us and we become vice presidents, we want to do the same thing. In order for you to get a bonus, because I remember I told you they pay you 15%, plus they pay you a 10% bonus. So the company gives you 25% of everything I do for the rest of my life. Imagine for a moment, Jackie, I come up under you, I grew up under you, you teach me everything you know, and I leave your office and become a vice president, and the company still gives you 25% of the company's profit of everything I do for the rest of your life. Would that be a big deal?
Big deal.
Okay. And then if I promote some people, they're going to do the same thing for them. They're going to pay me 15, but they're going to pay you a piece as well for the rest of your life. So I want you to just see the whole mindset of the 3 to get 3 to get 3 process. Remember, you got 3 vice presidents. 3 of us became vice presidents. In order to get a bonus, we got to at least do $10,000 of business. That's like help 7 to 10 clients in a month. Me and my organization got to help 7 to 10 to do $10,000 of business. So the company, if you got 3 of us, that's 30,000. 3 times 10 is 30,000. We're first generation. They pay you 15%. 15% of 30,000, you would have made $4,500. I'm not in your office anymore. They paid you $4,500. That's not the bonus. That's just the override of 15%. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We all promote 3 because we've been seeing the 3 to get 3 to get 3. We promote 3. You now have 9 seconds. Okay. They're gonna pay you 10% on that. If we did 10,000 each, that's 90,000. 10% of 90,000, they pay you $9,000. Those 9 find 3, that's 27. That's 270,000. At 5%, that pays you 13.5. Those 27 find 3, that's 81. That's 810,000. You make 1.75%, that's 14,000. If those 81 find 3, that's 243. You get the picture. It's 2.4 million. 0.75, they pay you 18,000. Those 243 pay you find 3. That's 729. That's 7.2 million. At doing 10,000 each, 0.75, they pay you 54,000. That's monthly, Jackie. That's monthly. Okay. I just want you to see the power of the compensation. That's why I'm saying to you, you can't get wealthy just in your job with getting 100% of you. But you can get wealthy with a concept of 1% to 1% of 100 people instead of just putting yourself in a position to get 100% of you. So I wanted to show you that. And in closing, I just want to ask a question of you. People who go to college, whether it's a junior college or a university, what do you think the cost is on the average for to take one class, a 3-hour class? What do you think the average cost is for somebody to go?
It's been a while, but I'd say about $400.
Yeah, it's a little higher than that. It has been a while.
Yeah.
But it may be in that range. If we go to a junior college, we find it anywhere from $500 to $600 to about $1,500 for one class, based on the university they go to or junior college they go to. And they can go and take an accounting class for 3 hours, a 3-hour accounting class, and get an A in it. But they still can't get paid because they don't have a degree. We're talking about somebody that has some goals and dreams like you, Jackie. You got goals and dreams. You said you want to make sure you got a condo in a different state. You want to make sure your kids can go to whatever school they want to go to. You also said to me that if you want to put yourself in a position to where you can eliminate the debt and move forward in several other areas. All right. Because of that, we just try to put you in a position to let you have an opportunity to run in that arena. So for us, it don't cost $500, don't cost $1,500. For us, for somebody to get involved in our company, it only costs $124. $99 one time only, and $20 a month to run your business. It costs $124. We're gonna pay for your insurance license and your investment license. And when you get off to a fast start with our company, we call it we call it find 3 people interested in making money and 3 people who love their family. Meaning, if we found 3 other people that paid $124 and 3 people that love their family enough to say, I want to get some insurance to make sure when I die, my family is left something. When we do that, the company put a $300 bonus in your pocket. You only put $124, but they put a $300 bonus back in your pocket. And so we move through that particular process. So all I want to do is share with you from what we just shared. Can you give me any reason why you shouldn't get started with us, at least on a part-time basis?
Absolutely, no
Okay.
reason at all.
So if we show you how to make $40,000, you would agree that'd be a big deal. So what I need to do is ask, how will you be handling your $124? Will it be a check or credit card?
Credit card.
Credit card. Okay, so what I want to do is get you started with that. Move forward. I want to invite you to our corporate overview, which we do on Tuesday evenings at 6:30, Saturday mornings at 9:30, so you can see a bigger picture of exactly who we are and what we do. And then we want to get together within 24 to 48 hours to put together your list so I can get in front of those 3 couples. Okay? And so we want to make sure we move the needle, because the power is 3 to get 3 to get 3. That's how we're going to get your 1% out of 100 people. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Well, Jackie, I look forward to building a business and you having 100 people or more in less than a year, and you be in a position where you be able to have services. They offer people over and over again a chance of a lifetime. The guy who introduced me to the company, he could have just did a sale and got paid one time. But he gave me a business opportunity like I'm giving to you, and he got paid a piece of the profit every time. And he's been paid $2.5 million through overrides just from introducing me to the company. So it does work. It is a big deal. And I'm excited that Madison introduced you to the company. And welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team.
Bless you.